In the last video tip box, we introduced a new feature in NeuroSolutions for Excel called the Express Builder. The Express Builder allows users to automatically train and test multiple neural networks with a few clicks of the mouse. The end result is an easy-to-read report that lists all of the trained and tested networks with the best result highlighted. In this video tip box, we will expand upon the previous demonstration on how to add your own custom breadboards into the Express Builder. In this example, let's use the CRAB data that is available in the NeuroSolutions 6 sample data directory to construct the customized breadboard. Using the neural builder, let's first choose the neural network topology, the multi-layer perceptron. Next, let's browse to the sample data directory to grab our data file and then tag the columns as inputs and outputs. The file components in the saved breadboard will actually be cleared automatically when you use the breadboard in the Express Builder, so you can realistically use any data configuration during this process and it will not affect the breadboard in the Express Builder. Before we continue on, let's choose the self-organizing map from the drop-down menu under Input Projection Algorithm and then press the Next button. Continue pressing the Next button until you have finally reached the Build button. Now let's save this breadboard into a directory that we can easily recall, such as the My Documents directory. I went ahead and created a custom breadboards folder inside the NeuroDimension folder in the My Documents directory to save this breadboard. Naming is important in that each breadboard in the Express Builder must be uniquely named, so we want to be sure not to replicate any of the names that already exist. For this particular breadboard, we will call it MLP1-LM-SOMIP. The MLP stands for multi-layer perceptron. The number 1 is an indicator for the number of hidden layers. The initials LM is for the learning algorithm, Levenberg-Marquardt, and the SOMIP is for the self-organizing map input projection. You'll see that the default breadboards in the Express Builder are named similarly. Now that we have a base breadboard to work from, we can create several variations by simply changing the settings on components or changing the components themselves. First, let's go ahead and try a different algorithm for the input projection component by right-clicking on it and choosing Properties. Next, click on the drop-down menu underneath Algorithm and choose Locally Linear Embedding. Now we can go to the File menu, choose Save As, and rename this breadboard as something else. I'll just change the SOM to LLE. Press Save. Let's create one more custom breadboard, and this time let's change the learning algorithm itself. To do so, since we already have our inspector open, simply click on the 2 red dials, which will bring up the back static control inspector. This component allows you to change the control type, such as online or batch, and also the gradient search, which by default is set to Levenberg-Marquardt. To change this, simply click on the drop-down menu and select Momentum. You'll see that the back propagation plane changes from the initials of LM to MOM. Now all you need to do is click on File, Save As, and again rename the breadboard. We'll just change LM to MOM and press Save. Now let's start our work in NeuroSolutions for Excel by clicking on the NS Excel icon in NeuroSolutions. I went ahead and preloaded the CRAB data with the columns already tagged accordingly. So now let's go ahead and start the Express Builder. First, let's choose the problem type, which is classification. The variables are already selected. So let's go ahead and click on Show Advanced Options. By default, it already has selected the linear regression, multi-layer perceptron, and probabilistic neural network, but we want to add our own custom networks, which can be done by pressing the Add button. And select the breadboard you would like to add. Do the same process for the other two breadboards. In the end, you should see the 3 breadboards listed under the Custom Breadboards option. Finally, press OK and let NeuroSolutions do the rest. To download and try it out for yourself, click on the free evaluation link on www.neurosolutions.com.